Hello, this is Dr. Soyla Quesada. I am your host, and this is Two Kids, One Doctorate. This episode, we will be discussing consistency and discipline. If you have a dream, that dream will not become reality unless you get to work on it. If you don't have a plan of action, you will not begin working on that dream. If you don't have timelines, you will not be working on that dream. That will continue to just be that, a dream, a wish, a hope. No action plan and you do not have the how. Keep on dreaming. Keep on hoping, keep on wishing. But if you don't take it upon yourself to make it a plan, to make that dream a reality, you will not get started. You will stay exactly where you are. A year later, things will be the same. Now, to that dream, to that action plan, to those timelines, you will also have to add discipline. If you don't have a disciplined soul, spirit, action-taking skills and targets to be disciplined towards, you will not make that dream a reality. You will continue to dream, wish, and hope. Discipline means that if you really want it, and this is what you want to embark on and start, means that you need to stay the course. You will need to stay disciplined even amongst all the challenges, because nothing we want will come easy. Nothing we want that we don't have will come easy. Nothing we want that is not given to us will not come easy. You'll need to stay disciplined past the tears, the disappointment, the ups, the downs. To stay disciplined through the ups is very important, because you might get too excited and happy that you made it past one thing on that timeline that you have, one thing on that action plan that you have, and get so involved and immersed in that moment of happiness and pride that you forget that there's so much more to do. So stay disciplined through all of that. Even when things are not working, you stay disciplined to make that dream a reality. And you have to stay disciplined consistently, right? Consistency is the next thing I want to bring up. Because if you're not consistent in your efforts, in the actions that you're taking, if you're not consistent with the mindset, right? You have to have the right mindset in order to embark on creating the dreams, the life of your dreams, okay? You have to be disciplined, and you have to stay consistent in that discipline. You have to remain consistent even when things fail, because guess what? Like I said a few seconds ago, this is not going to be easy. What you want to obtain, to gain, to earn will not be easy. Why? Because it's not being given to you, and you have to work to get that for you. And it will take consistency. You have to show up even when others don't show up. You have to show up and work on your goals even when it seems like they cannot become a reality, because they can. In order for your dreams to become a reality, you need an action plan, right? That action plan needs to follow those goals. What goals do you have? And what action plan are you going to put to get to that goal or to those goals? And remain disciplined and consistent. Consistent even against your own negative dialogue. Let's be honest. Sometimes we can sit in our own negative thoughts and think that, yes, well, that won't be possible. Or I tried everything. Guess what? You have not tried everything. There is still so much more for you to do. And I'm here to tell you, it is so worth it. It is worth the effort. I myself am a first generation college grad, grad school grad, and doctoral school grad, right? So everything I earned by getting these degrees took effort. It took lots of discipline, and it took consistency. And guess what? At the end of my doctoral program, I knew when I wasn't being consistent. I knew when I was running away. I was running away from my own timeline. I was running away from my own action goals, my action plans to those goals, because I was giving up on myself. When you stop being consistent, you begin to give up on you, right? Because those dreams you want, they're not just to have a dream. Those goals are not just to have goals. You want it because you want to make a difference in you want to make a difference in your life. If you have children, you want to make a difference in their life, in their generation. You want them to have some sort of base, right? From which they can catapult or jump or walk from, that is different from the one you had. And that takes discipline and it takes consistency. It takes believing in yourself through the process. It takes, listen, if you're not consistent in your beliefs of you, in you cheerleading yourself through the process, things can go down for you because no one else will do that for you. So be consistent in the process and disciplined in the action taking. If you don't do those things, you will not be successful in getting to where you want to go. And how many times have you given up? How many times have you let a challenge, a disappointment, a failure get you down to never get up again, to never go forth and try again? And let's face it, sometimes it's not trying again the same thing. Sometimes it's being conscious enough to know that some things will not work and you can try different actions. You can try a different plan. You can try a different avenue, a different route, but you can get to where you want to go if you want to. Okay? So let me repeat that again. You have dreams. Those dreams need goals. Those goals need action plans. Those action plans need discipline and consistency. If not, you will not get anywhere. And let me tell you a little bit about how I found this out and why I'm telling you this. As I stand here before you, everything that I've done it because generations before me have leveled some part of their life in a different way for me to kind of stand on that base and do more with my life. But let me tell you what has not happened. None of what I'm doing now has anyone done before, right? I can say podcasting, for example, it's not something any of my family members have done. Can't blame them though. Podcasting wasn't a thing when my mom was raising me, right? Being a college grad was not a thing that happened in my family. I was raised by a single mom. I will tell you, yes, my dad had a degree and he had businesses, but that wasn't part of my growing up. My dad passed away in 2018. And I can't tell you that I learned anything from him because I never had a relationship with him. The first time I met my father was when I was 11 years old. That's when I first met my dad, okay? And I met him once, and I don't think I saw him again till maybe 7 years later. When, if I remember correctly, when he was getting very sick, that we knew, he was just getting really bad. I saw him then, right? Because it was urgent. Now he's your dad and blah, blah, blah. But he was really never a father figure in my life. So I can't say that his stuff influenced me because I never was part of it. I was not influenced by money, by his money, his family's money. None of that was existent in my life. And part of it is probably why I'm now so consistent in what I want to earn and what I want to get to. Because I have no backup plan. I've got no parents who have money saved for my own development. Never have. And so that is part, although he was not influential in my life in very precise ways, I believe that his absence, however, and the absence of wealth in my family has catapulted me and has pushed me to create more for the next generation, to be the parent that I missed, right? That I missed out on growing up. That my life and my life choices can influence my children's future. And so I say that and I share that with you because everything I've earned in my adult life has been on the basis of me wanting it and getting to it. Yes, I've had villages, multiple villages at every different stage of my life that have helped me get there, right? And I'm going to make a whole episode just on villages. How do you find them and how to keep them? Because we need them. We need them in order for us to succeed through the different things we want. Nothing you've done alone. Nothing you will do alone. And that's why I love coaching, because it gets at that same thing. You might think you can get to it alone, and a lot of times you cannot. You need other people to show you the way, especially if it's a road you've never traveled. For me, college was a road that I had never traveled. And I had to set, for example, okay, my dream is to become a college educated person. What does that mean? What does the goal look like? What does the plan look like? And then please, let's talk about discipline, because we all know, right? Even when you like to learn, getting grades and working to get grades and writing papers and all that, that's not fun, right? So maintaining that discipline to get that done and being consistent in that process. The consistency part, I wish I could add exclamation marks, right, as you're listening to this, so you can visually see them, and hopefully me screaming at this microphone is helping you hear the exclamation marks I'm putting after those words, because it is so important that we remain disciplined and that we stay consistent. With neither of those, we will not be able to get through the road that has probably not been traveled by others before you, but it is the road you want to travel to get to that goal that perhaps has never been done by anyone else in your family, your immediate family, or your extended family. But you want to change what opportunities look like for you and others. You want to change what wealth looks like for you and others. You want to change what life experiences look like and feel like for you and others. If you're running a business, things might not work at first. You might need to change that plan. But if you want to get to that goal, let me tell you, there's a way. That one first plan you tried might not have worked, but it does not mean that another plan won't work. Stay the course, stay disciplined, and stay consistent. And I assure you, you can do it all. I would not have gotten to a doctoral level in my educational career if I would not have remained consistent. I would not be here recording episode 17 on a podcast if I had not remained disciplined and consistent. Has my consistency been loose on this podcast? Absolutely. That's why it's taking me a whole year and a few months to get to episode 17. I can assure you that if I would have remained consistent in the process and I would have recorded episodes more consistently, a play on words here, but it's reality and it's honesty, I would have been a little farther. I would probably have been on season 2 at the very least. But I let it go. I didn't prioritize it. It wasn't the thing that I was looking forward to do, but I know that if I remain consistent with it and continue to release episodes on a weekly basis, I will be in a very different place next year. Same thing with my coaching business. I started in December of 2020. I started then, and if I would not have remained consistent in the business, if I would not have remained disciplined in the business, if I would not have looked at failures as a lesson rather than a failure, if I would have given up at the first time of a challenge, I would not be here with you right now. I would not. Because this podcast grew out of me starting a coaching business. Because I said, I need to tell my story. I need to talk about my experience, having 2 kids, being a single mom, earning my doctorate, being a first generation immigrant Latina woman in the United States. All of that would not have happened if I would not have started the coaching. Because I wanted you to hear my story. I wanted you to relate to the stories I have, that I've experienced, and intertwine that with yours, and hopefully what I say is helpful to you in some phase of your life. If I would not have remained consistent through up until now, 2022, I would not be here speaking to you. I would not have a growing following. I would not have a growing client base. I would not, because that would have been the end of it. Like, oh, I put out a program and I have 2 people sign up. I was hoping for 10. I could have given up. I could have been discouraged to continue. But I kept going. I kept going. So remain disciplined and remain consistent beyond and above the challenges and the failures that are actual lessons. They're not failures because you're learning something from it. Remember, you can always change your plan if that other plan is not working, but stay the course and do not deviate, because if you do, you're gonna get away from that dream you have. You're gonna get away from that goal you want to achieve. That is it for episode 17. Thank you so much for listening. This is your host, Dr. Soyla Quesada, and this is the podcast 2 Kids, 1 Doctorate. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, go on over to the review section, leave us a comment and a rating. Thank you, and we will be here for episode 18.